Hello, welcome back to Zeus, Master of Olympus. I'm By Jingo, Master of his own living room, more or less. I've got full control over my own living room. I'm total master of it. I shouldn't put myself down as such. Anyway, I'm already sidetracked and I am 10 seconds into the video. This is the second time I've recorded this because the first time I did this I had the game sound on too loud or my microphone on too low, and it was a point where I literally couldn't hear myself think. So here we go, we'll go back into where we are. So we'd done Zeus and Europa, which was Thebes, the anti-Athens. But Perseus and Medusa, which was Argos, the city, not the shop. Although I found out the other day, by the other day I mean a few hours ago, using some cursory research, that the reason Argos, the English catalogue retailer operating in the United Kingdom and Ireland and the subsidiary of Sainsbury's is called Argos is because the founder, one Richard Tompkins, had the idea for the store while he was actually on holiday in the Greek city of Argos. So whereas I just thought it was a coincidence, it's actually named after the city. So all those little jokes I've been making, well, the joke's on me now. So we're talking about Athens, we're talking about Argos, we're now actually going to go into Athens and lead Athens from its earliest days through the times of war to the Golden Age. This adventure is somewhat challenging and very long. So I hope you're comfortable. I'm not, really. You know, in the old Let's Play videos you can hear the office chair I'm in sort of creaking as you lean back. Well, that's not going to happen here because I no longer have an office chair to creak in. If you hear any creaking, it'll just be my knees. Or my hips, possibly, because I'm just sat on one of the barren sort of chair with a couple of cushions on. Anyway, that's another tangent number 2. It consists of 8 episodes, and we will start with episode 1.
The land here is desolate and bare, but
It's a
then
good start.
most land in mountainous Greece. It's as good a place as any to establish a city, and you have your good friend Theseus to help you. He's out and about in Attica, visiting other cities in the region, and
My good friend
convincing them
Theseus.
that they should place themselves under your wing. Though the city of Athens itself might not have the resources to prosper, perhaps it can grow into a mighty city once it is banded together with its neighbors. There's only one problem with claiming land in Attica. Minos, king of Knossos and master of the Minotaur, calls this land his own and won't take too kindly to someone trying to build a new city upon it.
I mean, that's just unreasonable. As far as I remember, the Minoans are on the island of Crete, and that's nowhere near Athens. So, hear this. This is us in Athens. Lovely. Take a note of how quiet this is. It's going to get a lot busier later on. There's an awful lot of cities here to pop up. Egypt is over in that direction. I don't think that features at all. These are the Persians. They're over there. As well they should be. And this is Knossos. This is the Minoans. This is King Minos. He's furious. He's not having any of it. Doesn't like me at all right now. Continues to feel this way. He might one day invade your city. But this is miles away. How could somebody over here claim this over here? Couldn't you give the Spartans grief or something? Or people in Delos? It's closer. It would leave me alone. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This is what we've got to play with. And the right, it is barren. Well, it looks a little bit lush. There's lots of fertility here. And there's a river here. And there's a bit of fertility here. Now, I'm fairly paranoid. And although I've played the beginning of this mission for the clip that you saw, hopefully you saw, on the channel update video, that took me a surprising amount of time to do, just from trying to remember how to edit videos. I thought it was like riding a bike, you'd never forget, but it's not like riding a bike at all. This looks too good to be true, so I'm staying away from there. I'm going to start over here with a bit of housing that looks a bit like this. I think that's 3x3. Still got it. Oh, still got it. I usually miss it by 1 tile. So we'll build that there. We'll connect up to here. And here we'll have the dairies. We'll have a granary here. A storehouse here. A maintenance shack there, a maintenance shack here, and a maintenance shack there, because I am just that paranoid. Roadblock there, and let's get some dairy. So here's what we've got to play with in this scenario. We can build goats. We can't build the industry. We can do the basics in terms of trade and this, but in terms of actual money making, we're going to build in military units. Can't do anything. So there's nothing really to do apart from farm some goats. I never checked the goals, did I? The goals are have 12 skeins of fleece for our colony, we don't produce skeins, and have 12 baskets of fish for our colony, we don't produce fish, and have 500 people in homesteads or better. So we'll carry on with... In fact, we'll turn the speed up a little bit just so something happens somewhere. An empty city has employees needed. Thank you, game. Have a comedy gore here. And I don't really need a storehouse just yet, but it's future-proofing. I don't know if you heard that, but you certainly couldn't see it. I was tapping my nose. Signifying what? I don't know. It's some kind of like interior knowledge, I guess, but it's just making me look a bit more in the loop than I actually am. I tapped my nose again then, but quiet at that time. So even if you were listening carefully, you wouldn't have heard it. So what I'm going to do is build up some basics. I'm invited to every symposium. Thank you. And then I'm going to wait. Knossos becomes hostile. I am loath to speak your name by Jingo because it leaves a bad taste in my mouth. I, Minos of Knossos, am extremely angry with you. There's no telling what you might do. Usually that's what you say about somebody else, it's not what you say to somebody else. There's no telling what he might do. It's a third person kind of phrase, but he must be that angry that he's not even following the rules of grammar. There really is no telling what he might do. And if you look here, I've already shown you, he is hostile, he's furious. I can't quite remember what each of the names of attitudes are. So there's some for apathetic. There's like resting ones, so I think hostile is a resting, it's like a long-term attitude, and then you get like peaks. So he could become furious, which is like a type of hostile, or he could become resentful. I think if you're an ally and you've got low opinion, and it goes even lower, you can become resentful. Anyway, if you're watching this from the previous run, which was 2 years for me, but it might be like 30 seconds, it might feel like I'm repeating myself. So it does feel like I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry. Oh. How? But... What? It's right there! Thermopylae blossoms. Oh, great by Jingo. Now we're talking. Under the leadership of Pamkalpos? Pamkalpos. Thermopylae has grown into a significant... I can say Thermopylae. Grown into a significant city, no longer isolated from the world. Oh, you're gonna regret it. Right, meanwhile, we're on Granary Watch. I want to know why that collapsed. I don't know. Tell me about hazards. Right, what can Thermopylae do for me? Thermopylae can provide fish. And you know what? I am going to take them up on that. Because it takes a while for goats to produce milk. It takes even longer when you don't have any goats. We don't have goats because we don't have any people. There we go. So we'll get some goats on the job. Good stuff. They'll hopefully just spread out and do their own thing. Meanwhile, we're buying some fish up to a limit of 12. And first of all, I'm going to stockpile, because that fish isn't for you, it's for the colony. And I don't particularly... Ooh, lots of time to destroy us. I mean, we're only been here 7 months. The time to prepare has passed. Like, so, we've turned up. In February, he said, I'm loath to speak your name. And they said, no telling what we might do. And then something says something might happen. 5 months later, he's invading me, and I have to even have any warning. It's like, it just, oh, by the way, he's at our doorstep. Couldn't you, you know, give me a bit of leeway? Fortunately, I'm hoping, if it's anything like last time and a sense of fairness, it will be a small force that I can just sort of buy off. That's the plan, anyway. Ooh, that's quite hefty. 875 drachma. And of course, if I surrender or lose, I will be defeated for good. So I don't have any choice, do I? Right, marathons are growing up. Invaders paid off. Investors. Slip of the tongue there. Marathon buys fleece, olive oil, sells wheat and wine. Corinth doesn't do anything for me and is resentful, as is Sparta. They don't like me much because we're on Titan difficulty. It's also why I suppose it was quite expensive to buy off the invaders. I say expensive. 825 is actually really quite cheap, but I imagine he invaded with a few troops, more than just a rabble. So I'm going to build a food vendor there. Food and wine, that's all that's available in this city. It's not too bad. And while we wait for our goats to do something, we'll just speed up for a bit. Or not. There's a Minotaur in the city. Half bull, half man. Fully an annoyance. He should go back to the labyrinth whence he came. That is, of course, the story of Theseus and the Minotaur, where he goes in, well, I don't know why he ends up, probably something like this. Like, Crete is just, the Minoans are just giving the Athenians grief. So Theseus goes over and gives them grief back. But he goes into the labyrinth underneath the palace in Knossos, wherever it was. And takes some string with him and ties it up, and so he can go in, he can fight the Minotaur, but then he can also find his way out again. Which apparently is what didn't happen to previous adventurers. Like, they got lost in there, presumably trying to find the Minotaur. Because if they'd killed the Minotaur and got lost on the way back, there wouldn't be a Minotaur to come back. Anyway, that's a nice little aside. He's just going to patrol over there. He's not going to come over here. And to be honest, I could have built the city up here. That seems quite out of the way. Although I don't know what his anger radius is. So he's only patrolling between here and here, but he could be, you know, ready to destroy anything up to here or there. Still, he's not going to walk all the way over here. Not with that heavy axe, anyway. So the plan is to wait for some fish, wait for some skins. Thermopylae sells more fleece. I'll buy them as well. You know, as soon as you turn up. Why hasn't he turned up? Is it because it's not connected to the... what in Pharaoh's called the Kingdom Road? Possibly. So we'll just wait to spend some money. We'll stockpile. I need some more housing. I don't think I've made this big enough. It is interesting that unlike every other Impressions games that I can think of, well, certainly the ones of a certain era, water's not the first requirement, so you have to actually get the food in before they upgrade from these hovels, which only have 8 occupants. Oh, come on! There's going to be an annual event now. He's going to send some heavies round to give me grief. So, the time to prepare has passed. What preparation? I haven't even got a rabble I can send. There's so few people that you're basically invading an empty space. I'm not quite sure what the game designers were thinking with this. Oh, I can bribe 125 drachmas, that's fine. Because you get a nice shiny commemorative monument out of it. It's really effective in raising... It's a victory monument. Victory, and of course it has very large quote marks. The victory is a victory. But for the price of... What's that? 2.5 gazebos, you get something that's probably more effective than 2.5 gazebos. So that's not a bad trade. I don't mind paying off for 125 drachmas. Right. Did they sell us stuff? Doesn't look like it. Perhaps we were scared off by war. What are you? Or maybe it was, yeah, probably a merchant from someone that doesn't do anything particularly useful.
What do you have for me?
Well, it can't be because I've only got the one trading post. So we wait. And we wait. Marathon becomes... I don't know where Vassal is, where Marathon is. Most valiant, by Jingo. I like this guy. I, Eropus of Marathon, am placing myself and all my followers under your rule. We will gladly do your bidding. Good. See what you do. Marathon is the one that's selling me wheat and wine, of which I require neither. But it's nice to know the opportunities there. So we've got 8 fish and we've got 8 fleece, which means we're halfway there. Well, yes, I'm going to stand by that statement, because although we are greater than halfway there in terms of the number of commodities, we still need to get 500 people, and that's got to be worth 4 commodities each. I'm sticking with that. It's a bit tenuous, but I'll stick with it. So you need some fleece, but you're not getting it until I ship some off to the colony. What's the employment like now? Quite high. I'll stick some more people in the dairies. So if nothing else, we can just get some cheese going. Because that's about the only thing that Athens has got going for it at the moment. Just cheese. The trouble is that nobody wants cheese. Well, they won't actively reject it, but you get a polite thank you letter, but only be moderately effective at raising relations. But that is what I think I might do if I have to demand a lot of goods. And you know, the way I play this game, I demand a lot of goods. We'll set that aside, and we'll set that aside. And then we'll turn off stockpiling, and everybody can have all the fish and fleece that they want. In fact, I'm going to stop buying fish because it's quite expensive. It's not expensive at all. It's only 36 drachma. Oh, come on! I didn't even get a warning that time. That was hefty. I mean, come on, game. It's going to be like invasions every year until I get this sorted, I guess. 6 baskets of fish and 400 drachmas. Well, I'm at least recovering something. So you need food from an agora. I'm working on it. There's goats that are providing for you. In fact, we have enough for 1,064 people and there's only 457, so you should be drowning in cheese. If you made it into a fondue. I don't want to spend any more money. Just as a general point. But I also don't want to spend any money on this city. We do need more food. Can he make it all the way around? So we've got 500 people. And we'll put a fleece vendor in. Where has all the fleece gone? I'm sure we had some. Sigh. I guess we just wait. I'm not entirely sure what for. To wait for Knossos to come again is what we'll do. I said he has plenty of food. What are you talking about? Oh, great by Jingo, please help me through this. Due to a recent fire in our city, of Thermopylae, I'm in need of crates of food and I turn to you for help. Our city will have a hard time managing without it. That should be fine. What I will do is I'll buy some fish then. And I think it's an improvement on Pharaoh because they will just accept any kind of food. So long as I don't. So stockpile your fish and your cheese. And we will help Thermopylae. I hope probably in 9 months, if they're struggling for food, they will. They'll be in trouble. In fact, they're selling me fish. Could they not just like say, we'll cut out the fish deliveries? Hygiene deteriorating. Well, you know, what do I mean to do about it? So how much food have we got? Seems like quite a bit. Dispatch now. Get stuffed. You got enough money out of me. I'm going to stop buying your fish to then send to you as a relief aid. Because you foolishly decided to refuse to send me a city at 100 drachmas, I do not regard you as highly as I did before. You didn't regard me highly before at all. I didn't think you could go any lower. Anyway, I don't regard you very highly. Have you ever thought of that? He's extorting money from me, left, right and centre. Right, we've got some homesteads. What's wrong with you? You're worried that that infirmary with the screaming people next door is driving down house prices. Oh, there we go. Look at that. So we've got 316 people in a homestead. And what's wrong with you? I do not want to spend money on you. But I don't want to use up my commemorative monuments. I wonder if they carry through between the city, from city to city. There we go.
Athens is on its way to becoming a great city.
Becoming a bankrupt
Already,
city.
Several small cities in and around Attica consider you their friend, or have placed themselves under your leadership.
Good old Theseus is doing his job.
Will always be stunted, as long as you suffer under the yoke of Minos.
We can say that again. Whew, I feel stunted after all that. How much did I send him in the end? It was 1,000. That was what, 850 to begin with, and another 150 on top of that. It's 2,000 drachma that cost me. I want it back, and I'm going to get it back in the next scenario. You'll join me there in the next video.